Turnovers, I thought we were late on some rotations and some contests. And obviously they shot the ball great. There was some they made that were contested, but I thought they did a good job of generating some good looks. I thought Patrick gave us good minutes, and I thought Modest gave us good minutes to forward spots tonight.
Why did you start Talon over Patrick in the second half? And I assume the Zach was just to try the double big lineup?
Tried a double big lineup. We were down by 20. I thought Patrick would be, the possibility of him playing Mobley, because they were taking Allen out and leaving Mobley in there. That was something. And this really just tried to mix it up a little bit. Same thing with Dalen. We were down by 20 and just tried to go to a big lineup to see what it would look like. I mean, I think it was fine. I think Zach picked up some fouls, so he came off. But that unit in the third quarter, when it was Modest and Patrick and those guys out there, we had really, really good moments. But against a team like this, you can't play in good moments. You have to play well, each and every quarter. Not the whole quarter, but you got to play well.
When you're kind of throwing guys together like that haven't played, I mean, you don't love 20 turnovers, but do you kind of expect that there's going to be some bumpy moments, especially against a team like the Cavs?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think so. To me, the disappointing part in the game was I thought we competed and I thought we played hard. I just didn't think that we played to our identity enough on both ends of the floor. There was some carelessness and some of the turnovers, but we started the first quarter. I think we had 4 turnovers like right away, and they were careless. I think sometimes when you're trying to make a play and you may turn it over, that's going to happen. But to me, there was just too many careless ones. That's going to happen. When you have Kobe and Josh out and different guys handling the basketball, that's going to happen. But I do think that those guys that played tonight, we're going to need those guys throughout the next 3 games to close out the regular season. And, you want those guys to be able to play well. And, I get it. We had missing some scoring out there from what we normally have, but it was an opportunity for guys to really step up and play and, and continue trying to play how we've been trying to play all year long. And again, there was moments we did it, but against a team like this, you can't do it in moments.
Serious question. Was it hard to pick the starting lineup? I'm being serious. Like, did you guys have a lot of debate about that, or was it pretty?
Yeah, I mean, we talked a lot about it. I mean, we talked a lot about potentially starting big with Zach and Jalen. We talked about that. We talked also about, possibly starting Dalen and Talon together, both of them a possibility. We just thought with their size, Patrick was a good matchup with Mobley and kept Modest in the starting lineup. And the other thing we had talked about is Zach's been a guy that's come off the bench for us for a one-off game with Vooch out. Do you really start him or do you play Jalen, give him an opportunity because he hasn't played too much? It keeps Zach in his normal rotation. So, like, all those things were discussed when we met.
As far as Modest, you mentioned him. I mean, beyond the shot making, he got to the line 7 times, and defensively 2 steals and a block. Are you impressed with the way he's kind of sustaining this play down the stretch of a grueling rookie season? Playing this many games and his minutes going up the second half of the season. Are you impressed with the way he's sustaining and closing the season? Yeah,
I mean, I think you got to keep pushing him. He responds to that, but I think the other part of it too, it's. There's still things, and again, I'm not trying to be critical because I am really, really happy with the way he has grown during the course of the year, and it's a credit to him the way he's handled everything and the way he's learned. So, but there are still things that he's going to have to do going forward. These 3 last regular season games, and then into the play-in, and. There's the physicality component of it, where he's got to go hit somebody. He can't out-jump people all the time. He's going to have to be a hit-first guy on certain situations. You can see him in situations where he gets tied up physically, and he gets overwhelmed. That's going to happen, but there's off-ball cutting, losing sight of his man cuts back door, those kind of things. And those are the things he's got to kind of lock into. My biggest thing is him putting his body in place physically because he's got a lot of length. And what happens is, I think for him, is when there's contact, his length and size sometimes in his physical or his athleticism gets neutralized. But if he can be kind of a hit first guys and go find people, because a lot of times he's getting hit and now he's not able to make plays. But he's doing really, really good things, and I think he's playing more and more consistently. I just think there's another level he needs to kind of fight towards. before the season ends. I think he's got to be, and the biggest part of it for me is the consistency part, where there's games where he looks tired, there's other times he's got pop, like the consistency of that. And he's trying, and he's done a really good job, but I really appreciate the way he's handled this year, from not playing a whole lot to, earning more and more time and competing better and better.
Where's he at with game plan mistakes?
I think with young players, the personnel stuff is really, what he's got to just learn more, because things happen quickly.
Yeah.
The one thing that was great today in shoot around was great, because at times, we were going to start him on different people. We talked about coverages, pick and roll wise, and he asked a ton of questions, which is what he's got to do. That part of it was great. Like the first play of the game against Portland, going over personnel, talked to him about this in the very first play, what we said we want to take away, we don't take away, but he course corrects, so he's getting better. I think he's understanding the importance of that and the detail in that.
That's all you can have.
Yeah, and he's doing a good job with that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
All right.